France and the Age of Exploration. In 1524, half a century after Spain had initiated its New World expeditions, France began sailing westward towards Asia. Because of the Ottoman Turks' activity between Europe and Asia's trade centers, Italian explorer Giovanni de Verrazzano was commissioned by King Francis I to search for a westward passageway to Asia. Verrazzano had sailed onto the coast of South Carolina and as far as modern-day Nova Scotia, but he saw no value in the land as he could not find a water route to the Pacific. During the 1500s, many Europeans believed this northwest passage, connected by the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean, would provide for a safe water route from Europe to Asia. It wasn't until 1534, though, a decade later, that the French claimed possessions in the New World. King Francis I, still searching for a passage into Asia, commissioned another French navigator by the name of Jacques Cartier. This explorer led the first European expedition into the Gulf of St. Lawrence. He discovered land along the St. Lawrence River in Canada and declared it as French property. This new land, however, did not yield immediate profit and suffered from bitter winters, so French interest was diminished for over half a century. The newly discovered areas of Canada were not truly colonized until 70 years later, in 1608, when Samuel de Champlain, a geographer commissioned by King Henry IV, voyaged and established French settlements in Quebec. Once discovered, there were various reasons as to why France chose to colonize and expand their territory in Canada. First and most importantly, the area was rich in valuable resources such as fur, leather, fish, and timber, making it a vast trading area and an economic boon to France. This contributed to their rise as a trading power, incentivizing further exploration and settlement. Their most profitable trade was with fur. Fur was extremely popular in France, and with high demand, there was a high supply. French explorers frequently tracked beavers and shipped their pelts back to France, hunting to such a great extent that the beaver population became endangered in many areas. The French explorers also traded with the Native American tribes, particularly the Huron and Algonquin tribes. They exchanged pelts and other resources abundant in the area to bring back to France. In addition to trade, the French also continued to explore Canada in search of a river route or passage to Asia. They believed North America held such a route and thus expanded because of that reason. Samuel de Champlain contributed to this effort by organizing further expeditions into the territory. He and his followers collaborated with the native Huron tribes and ventured westward to the Great Lakes, the lower peninsula of Michigan, and the Detroit River. Though unsuccessful in finding water passage, the French still continued in their expansion by also expanding to areas along the Mississippi River. Their presence in the New World was augmented by the Jesuit Society and their desire to convert or save the native Indians. Of the small population at the time, many were missionaries. France's alliance with the native Huron tribes gave the Jesuits an opportunity to convert the natives to Catholicism. As such, French exploration greatly influenced the predominant religion of Canada. Although there was religious and exploration-related activity present in Canada, its territories were primarily expanded and utilized for the purpose of trading and gathering, as reflected in the small population of mainly hunters, trappers, and traders. France's alliance with the native tribes and successful gathering of fur and other resources made it so, giving the territory great significance to France. As such, in 1663, Canada was made the property of the French crown and administered by a French governor like a French province. The small population was governed autocratically, optimizing the speed and effectiveness of the trading industry. France directed the majority of its efforts on Canada, for it was the most beneficial economically. However, France did enact settlements on other lands as well. In addition to Canada, France also held colonies in the West Indies, in Saint Domingue and Martinique and Guadeloupe, almost solely for economic reasons. The tropical climate, along with the defenseless natives, brought ideal conditions for plantation agriculture with slave laborers. France also established settlements in India for similar reasons, as its location along the coast proved to be beneficial for trade. However, the reasoning for settlement on India's east coast was also influenced by their rivalry with the British. Above all, though, the French expansion hinged mainly on an economic motive. The new territories yielded massive profit and trading opportunity, giving more power to France. Although France ultimately ceded all New World and Indian possessions to the British as a result of their defeat in the Seven Years' War, the French culture had a visible impact on the native people. Their alliance with the Huron tribe in Canada resulted in the area's adoption of French values. Eventually, the predominant religion became Catholic, the land divided into provinces, and French as one of the official languages.